Do we have any regrets moving from
Wisconsin to Florida?
In this video, we're going to tell you all the little regrets that we do have. But before we get into it, I think it's important that you know we love living in Florida. It's great. We were happy we made the move once to Orlando and then even more so to Venice. But there's definitely been some regrets. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, even though we do love it here and overall are glad we made the choice to move here. Just to get that out of the way, this isn't a doom and gloom video. We made a good choice.
So our first regret is actually leaving our family. We left all of our family in Wisconsin. We don't have anyone here in Florida, so that was kind of like an adjustment. I have some extended family here.
Yeah, that was definitely a pretty big adjustment, still is to this point. I think that's probably the biggest regret, the hardest thing to do. And you make new family depending on where you live. Like if you live in a nice neighborhood, like we live in a very nice neighborhood, you find neighbors that kind of become like your Florida family, I guess would be a good way of putting it. But yeah, not having family, and I'd also throw friends, really close friends that are like family from wherever you're moving from. That is a pretty big adjustment. There's definitely no way around that. And I would say that's the biggest, most difficult thing to deal with. I think it just depends on the person and your personality and how much you like to be around those people or need to be around those people. One thing we've done, I think that's kind of helped at least make it more doable, is they'll come down and visit for sometimes weeks, months on end, or my parents will come down, for a week, once in the winter, once in the summer. So they'll split that up. Plus then we go back up to Wisconsin twice a year. And then on top of that, I think the other thing that helps is just staying in contact with those people, still calling, still texting, keeping the relationship there even when you're not there.
Yeah, and again, making friends with your neighbors who now become your Florida family, that kind of helps to alleviate the loneliness and the missing your family a lot because they're not here. Because now you have people that you can celebrate holidays with. Like for us, we don't go back to Wisconsin every holiday. We would like to, but we can't. So we have friends here that we celebrate holidays. And to put that a little more into context too, a lot of people in Florida are in that same boat where they moved from a different state, maybe a different country. So it's a lot easier, I would say, to make friends here and become close with them because everyone's kind of like in the same boat.
Yeah, and a lot of people are actively looking to do that. And there's a lot of ways to do that too. There's like in Venice, Florida here, beautiful Venice, Florida.
By the way, if you are looking to move down to Florida, make sure to call, text, or email us. I am a local realtor in the Venice, Sarasota area. My information will be in the description box below.
Phone number is 941-221-1897. Call or text at any time. We'll always have your best interest and happiness in mind when buying or selling a home in the area. But back to what I was saying was basically you've got a lot of like parks here in Venice, or just about any city in Florida really is going to have some parks or maybe different social activities and things like that where people are actively looking to meet and get to know other people. So there's definitely a lot of ways to do that.
Yeah, or if you're in an HOA community, homeowners association community, a lot of times they'll have a lot of different activities going on where, trying to get the neighbors together and create that sense of friends and family in the neighborhood.
Next regret isn't really a regret about making the move to Florida, but it's about when we decided to do it. I think, well, maybe for us it was about as soon as we could have, but I wish we would have maybe made it a little sooner. Me personally, maybe made it a little sooner, but I probably wouldn't be with you if that was the case. But it would have been good to kind of at least do it, I think, at a younger age and get a feel for if it was right or wrong for you, because I think a lot of it for us was just kind of like, should I make that move? I don't have anyone to make the move with. Am I gonna like it? And like just getting that out of your system and finding out if you like it or not. Spending, I'd say, a good year and a half will give you a pretty good sense for if it's the right move for you or not. But I just wish we would have maybe made that leap sooner, or I would have made that leap sooner. But again, if I would have made that leap sooner, then she wouldn't be here with me, and
your life would suck.
Yeah, my life would suck. But so, I mean, and I don't know, it was always hard for me to just say, well, I'm just gonna do this by myself. So it is helpful to have like a significant other that's on board with it, or a close friend or something like that, or family.
Yeah, and on that same token too, I don't feel like we waited too long to move down to Florida. Like I've heard a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm waiting to retirement, and actually we were planning moving eventually down to Florida, maybe once we're retired. But then it's like, if you think about it, why would you wait that long? We are able to make the move because it is that doable for everyone. But if you are able to make the move, like, why would you wait until you're older? Maybe you can't enjoy the city as much because you don't have as much energy, or you just want to kind of like be with the grandkids, things like that kind of like hold you back, like family holds you back. Just kidding.
Yeah, but and then there's just a lot of things too. Yeah, like you're just not going to be able to do that maybe you would want to do because you're older. Maybe you're just not as physically able to do certain things. You don't have the energy. You just don't want to do certain things that you wish you would have when you were younger. So get out there and do it sooner. Do it now.
Yes. Another regret that we have is not moving to Venice right away. If you have been following us for a little while, you know we moved from Wisconsin to Orlando first, and then from Orlando down to Venice. I guess the regret we do have is not moving directly from Wisconsin to Venice, because a lot happened within that year and a half or so that we were in the Orlando area. So a lot of stress that we could have avoided by just doing our due diligence and researching a little bit more before buying a condo where we thought we wanted to be.
In some ways though, I feel like I regret that, but I don't. Like, we always talk about how now we kind of miss Orlando. It's weird. And going from Orlando's crazy traffic, which I think ties into that regret, because that was one of our biggest things with Orlando. We loved all the stuff to do. We kind of overall, I would say, loved the city feel. The big city feel was nice in a lot of ways, but just the traffic was too much. But it kind of like trained us to like get ready for like something like for that being, you know, so crazy. Then when we came to Venice, it felt like a piece of cake. Whereas if we would have went from Wisconsin to here, it might have still felt a little crazy here, because it is a little busier and a little faster than when we came from in Wisconsin. Not much,
Not as
but
bad as Orlando,
right.
So.
But I think going through that process though put the lenses on for us to when we came to Venice to feel like, oh wow, this is easy.
I think the regret is not so much actually leaving in Orlando as much as it is having to make that move and packing all of our stuff up and then having to make the move again from Orlando, from the condo into the home. So like we moved twice within 2 years.
Yeah, it was literally a year and a half in Orlando before we moved again.
Yeah.
And 2 years total, I guess, for the two moves. Not even.
And it was just the two of us moving because we didn't have anyone in the Orlando area that could help us with anything, so.
And that I can 100% agree with, just because, yeah, moving sucks, and doing it twice really sucks. Like, I told Haiti after we moved to Venice, I'm like, we are not moving again.
Ever.
Even if it's somewhere else in Venice for at least 5 years. That's like the minimum. Because, yeah, just packing up all the stuff, all the closing documents and all that, like, it's exciting and it's great to make the move overall, but it is a stressful experience. Especially doing it once is probably fine. That's new, exciting, great. But doing it twice within 2 years, that's too much.
I would not recommend.
Our next regret, and it kind of ties in with the last one, is just not exploring more of Florida before we made the move. So really, we made a trip with her family. Basically, we decided to go we did Orlando, we did Disney, we went down to Miami. Was that
beach area?
And was that it? I feel like maybe we went somewhere else. Okay, I guess not.
Yeah, I explored a little bit of the Kissimmee area, which is where Disney is really close to, but that was about it.
Yeah, and previously I'd been to Tampa, I'd been to St. Pete, Orlando a couple other times previously, but really outside of that, I hadn't seen a lot of Florida, and even on those trips, I didn't really get to really explore the cities too much outside of our trip to Miami. And so because of that, well, we knew we didn't want to do Miami because it was just, the traffic was way too much. We knew that. Trips to Orlando, the traffic definitely felt pretty crazy, but it wasn't quite
so bad.
It wasn't on the Miami level, and definitely in that Kissimmee area, it's a little lighter than a lot of the other areas, especially where we ultimately ended up moving to, which is Altamont Springs, which is a suburb of Orlando. But I just wish, we would have explored a little more of what was out there, the Gulf Coast, more of the Atlantic Coast, more of Central Florida, just so we kind of knew what was out there and got a sense for it, and then see it in person.
Yeah, but when we decided that we were going to move to Altamont Springs, it was with like the second intention of we're going to be in a central location, and if we don't like it, we can go south, or we can go north, or we can go, like to the East Coast and try to figure out within driving distance, making different trips, which we did, and that's how we found Venice. Yeah,
it was a nice central hub. So in a way, it was a good strategy, but just with making the move twice in some other ways is like, I don't know, but at the same time, like, how do you really do that though? Like, let's make a drive all the way up and down both the coasts without living here. That's just a really tough thing to do. Yes. So, and the nice thing is now you got channels like ours and a bunch of other ones out there, and a lot more online resources to do research. There's a lot of people taking videos just driving around, which is when we just first made the move of down here there just wasn't a lot of that kind of stuff out there. And during like COVID, it seemed like a lot of people started putting more stuff on YouTube because I think it was something to do. So now there's just tons of YouTube contents out there of people just driving around different cities, so you can get a real sense of it, because a lot of what we saw was more like promotional videos that showed you like how great it is and everything's relaxing and traffic's not bad anywhere. And yeah, it just maybe isn't exactly accurate.
Or it is accurate if you are going to be here on vacation.
Yes, exactly.
Our next regret is not visiting different areas like we live here. When we came here, it was on vacation. The first time with my family, the second time when we were actually house hunting. We were on vacation and also house hunting, and I would say that was a mistake. We should have come back and just experienced the area as a local and then house hunted, because that's really the only way you can really narrow down where you want to be and if you like the area.
We always give as advice to everyone else now is like, spend like a week-ish in an area and do some of the things that you would do on a daily basis, whether you have a job, going to the grocery store, like go experience some of those things so you can see what it's like to drive to those places, how crowded it is, the traffic patterns, like just all these little things that maybe you're not thinking of, and because you're looking at it through all the fun things to do, like theme parks and beaches and
all the excitement too,
yeah,
that you want to be here. So now a lot of things that typically would be an annoyance, maybe you wouldn't look at them that way because you're so excited that you're here on vacation and you think life is gonna be that way.
Yeah, and I think maybe that could be one more regret that we can tie in with that, is also you moved down here for a lot of that stuff. You moved down here to have a relaxing lifestyle, to enjoy the beach, to go to the theme parks, and so I feel like we do a pretty good job of doing a lot of that stuff, but I would say a regret is maybe not doing it more. And I think a lot of people, that would be a regret, is, you know, not factoring that into your day-to-day life, like making time for those things, number one, but number two, before you make the move, making sure you're able to like do that. Like some people, like to afford to move down here, they're gonna have to work, you know, maybe 2 jobs, and now they just don't have the time, and so it kind of ruins the dream, you know. So I think it's just important to kind of put into consideration the whole package of moving down here and what that looks like, and are you going to have the time or financial ability or the energy to do those things that you think are so amazing about Florida. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Venice, Sarasota, Inglewood, Northport areas,
make sure to call, text, or email us. I am a local realtor here. My information will be in the description box below.
That phone number is 941-221-1897. Call or text at any time. We're always going to be your best interest and happiness in mind when buying or selling a home in the area. If you want some more advice and tips about moving to Florida, check out this playlist right here, and live breezy.